Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Patricia Stuart of Patricia Stuart Originals. Well, you should know about me by now that I love to create my own stencils. It allows me to come up with different shapes and designs that are very unique. And so I'm going to try some new ones out, and using deli paper, we'll see how they come out. I like using deli paper because it's sheer, yet it's translucent, sheer, and it gives off a different look than just using computer paper. So I'm going to start with these loose oval type stencils, and I also had cut some of these out, and so we'll see what designs can be made from that. So I'm going to start with some yellow ochre, like golden. And the key to this is using very little paint. Not using a lot. I'm going to be using the same 4 stencils in different positions, layering them, and too much paint would make it difficult for it to stand out in the way that I want it for the layered effect. You never know what you're going to get or how exactly it will come out. I'm also trying to use colors that would not be too dark or turn muddy. Okay, so we get this. I'm going to do it again, but using some Indian yellow hue, and with positioning the stencil differently. We'll see what designs we can create. And this is all random. And I know this yellow ochre and the Indian yellow hue almost looks to be of the same family. but it's a slightly different shade. So, okay, let's try I'm going to try some quinacridone nickel azo gold. Now this is a little darker. It's also pretty translucent. And the key is using very little paint. And also I'm staying away from the opaque color paints because I want to see the color come through on each layer. Let me see just a little darker coming through. So as I move along, I will try to come with a little darker. Now I'm going to use some Viridian green hue. This is also a little translucent because these tell you here, if you can see through the ticks, you know that it's translucent. And this way you can see the colors come through. So we reposition the stencil again, randomly, don't really think about it, just place it on there. And that's the fun of it with the tissue paper, with the deli paper. Okay. And here you see the designs. Now I will try a little titanium white. Just a little more. Wow. I guess it's a little hot in this room. It's just drying the paint pretty quickly. Okay. We'll place the design down again. randomly. And even though you really can't see the white as much, it's a light coating that separates the design a little differently than the last pull. Try one more color. I think I will go with let's see. I'd like to use a slightly different, darker color, so to speak. Right, I'll try some cadmium red. And I'm going to mix it with just a little teal. Just going to add a little white with that. It almost looks as though these colors are not going to work well together. We'll see. I like to experiment and not really put a lot of thought into it. Now that turned out nice. I like that. Also added like a little lavender in with it. Turn it around and look at it from this angle. So the deli paper really gives a nice layering effect. So I'm going to try another one. Let's see if I can clean this plate off a piece of newsprint. Not so much. Okay, so we'll leave what's on the plate on there. See what happens as we move along. Okay, I'm going to try let's see. I'm going to go back to some Viridian green. using the same stencils again, placing them differently. Fresh piece of deli paper. Okay, it's the first hole. Try some manganese blue. Okay, I'll just put that there. I would encourage you to try your hand here at some stencils, homemade stencils. In one of my other videos, I gave the link to the gyro cut, and it's good to play around with creating your own stencils. Okay, let's try I'm going to try primary magenta. To do stencil upside down. I'm getting up to like 4 pulls. And perhaps you can do even 5. Okay. Let's try. I'm going to try a little iridescent bronze. I'm using an 8 by 10 plate. Let's see if this bronze will show up. trying to avoid the too many opaque, darker colors. Although you can use them, but I'm trying to get the effect of where you're able to see all the colors that you're using coming through. Okay, I'll take another pull. I'll try a little yellow. Okay, and there's that design. It's pretty when you move the stencil around. Gives pretty neat design. Now I wonder if I use one more pull, maybe using a little white. If you have stencils at home that has a lot of line openings like what I'm using, and you shift them around in different positions, you should be able to get some nice designs. It's good to experiment. Oh, that's nice. So the white mixed in with the color left on the plate gave a pretty nice effect. And so we have this one and this one. Pretty nice. So I hope as you guys experiment with your gel plate that you'll enjoy coming up with unique designs and creations, enjoying the process, and then you can use these prints to put in a gel print book as a collection, or you could use them as backgrounds in other artwork, but whatever you do, enjoy the process. Thank you for stopping by once again.